High School. This is the Lincoln High School drumline, and we are here and very excited to play for you tonight. What you saw right there was some of our warm-ups that we practice all summer long, marching around the neighborhoods and the streets of Sioux Falls Lincoln High School. And now we're going to play some of our music that we played in the band show. So thank you so much for having us and supporting the Sioux Falls school system. That last thing is, it's called Cadets 2000, and Cadets 2000, a lot of these kids learned when they were 9 years old. So it's just kind of like a thing that they do, and that's why we do it once slow and once fast, because when they started as 9-year-olds, we obviously didn't play it at that speed right there. So the last thing we're going to play is our exit song, so thank you again so much for having us, and have a great night.
Welcome everyone to the inaugural public school crowd. Let's hear it for the Lincoln Drumline one more time, please. Thank you so much for coming out tonight to join us. We are thrilled that we have a room full of people who support public education, they support our teachers, but I'd like to start by thanking our sponsors tonight. So as you can see, our gold level sponsor is Sanford Health. Our silver sponsor is Vance Thompson Vision. Our bronze sponsors are Cutler Law Firm, Ike Bailey, Omnitech, Reliabank, and Scooters Coffee. And our Sapphire sponsors are Dakota Vision Center, First Dakota National Bank, and Show Place Cabinetry. Please help me thank our sponsors tonight. Next, I would like to invite the Education Foundation board members to please stand. I work with an incredible group of 14, and a lot of these board members have been champions for public education long before I joined the foundation. So please, if you are a board member with the Education Foundation, please stand. I'd like to recognize everyone who made tonight possible. And I'd also like to thank our school board members who are here tonight. I see that Todd is here, Cynthia's here, I think Nan and Kate are coming. Yep, Kate's back there. So thank you for supporting the foundation and for just, believing in everything that we do. I just wanted to take a little bit of, yes, thank you. I'd like to take a few minutes to just talk about the foundation. For those of you who this is your first time hearing about us, what we do is we support teachers and students in the Sioux Falls School District. And we do that through our grant programs. And what we do is we ask teachers to bring us their next big idea. So we are the fundraising arm for the district. The money that we raise goes back to support our teacher grants. So if you came in, you saw a student and one of our teachers using VR headsets. That was a grant that was just funded last year. So students in their German class get to travel around the world using these Google Expedition VR headsets. We've awarded grants for drones and robotics kits, musical instruments. They were the first in the state to be used. We've done light tables. We've done books for English language learners. Anything that you can imagine, we have probably funded. So the Education Foundation supports projects that are not financed by tax dollars. So it's those teachers who are going above and beyond, they're dreaming big for their students, and we're able to give them the money so that kids have amazing experiences in the classroom. And last year, we also started a Student Success Fund, and what we do through that fund is we support some of our most at-risk students. So we have provided clothing to families who are fleeing domestic violence. We provide scholarships for students who want to take the GED, but don't have the money to pay for that. We recently installed 3 washer and dryer sets at a few of our elementary schools. And then we also have a program with Falls Community Health. If there's a student who would like to participate in activities or athletics and they don't have private insurance and their parents make too much for Medicaid, we will cover the cost for their physical. So that's something new that we started last year. But again, our primary focus is on our grant program for teachers. And last but not least, please help me recognize the CTE students in the back who have just been fantastic tonight. We have about 25 students from the CTE Academy who are here with us tonight. They're in the Culinary Arts and the Baking and Pastries classes. But there were about 50 other students who were helping at the school and weren't able to be here tonight. And I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize Miss Janelle Revere back there. She is their teacher. She has been their champion. We are so proud of all of our students, and these CTE students have really, that's what has been, I think, one of the most exciting things about this event is they got to put together the menu, they made everything, and we're showcasing their talent tonight. So I'm going to turn it over to Vernon Brown and Deanne Conrad, and they will take over for the rest of the night.
Deanne, it's been a long time since we've worked together like this.
Well, that is true.
You've got a little s'more on your face there still. Yeah.
It's good stuff. If you haven't tried the s'more thing yet, you better do that quickly. Because Vernon's already had how many?
Dozen,
okay.
Yes.
So, Vernon and I are back at it. He and I worked together in a previous life, and we remain friends today. In fact,
Should we tell the story?
sure. Let's go for it.
I met my wife at Deanne's wedding. They were lifelong friends, and Deanne was Cupid. She got us arranged together.
Right, so in 1997, his wife Tammy was at my guest book. She's a former Washington High School English teacher, and she's been a lifelong friend of mine, and I had her attending the guest book, and Vernon walked up, and it was love at first sight or something like that.
Yes.
So
Yes.
anyway, it took a little while after I got back from my honeymoon, and he said, hey, what about the girl at your guest book? And I'm like, oh yeah, she's great. Here's her story. And he's like, do you think she'd go on a date with me? I'm like, what? So I was a little oblivious to the whole thing, but we're still great friends today, and we have that connection that takes us back. And Vernon has served on the Education Foundation Board in the past as well, and continues to be involved in a big supporter of public education. So thank you for that.
And as you all know, Deanne works for the communications in the school district and is often the spokesperson. So we're excited to be here and to get the night started. So should we cover some of the rules?
Right.
What's going on?
Rules, 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 just like the classroom, right?
Yes.
So we are here tonight for a reverse raffle. And I should just tell you, while Vernon and I are trained professionals, please cut us a little slack if something doesn't quite go right.
Well, and since this is not a Sioux Falls Public School District event, it's a foundation event, you can have a drink, and the more you drink, the better we get for the
Yeah, the
night.
funnier we are by the end of the night, right? Okay. So, what is a reverse raffle? Has anyone ever attended a reverse raffle before? Oh, wait, Anthony in the back. A couple people have been to a reverse raffle. So, it is not the person who is drawn out first that wins the biggest prize. It is the person who is drawn last. So, we're here together till approximately 9 o'clock tonight. And I guarantee you, time is going to go quickly. But as we pull numbers out of the cage, the ticket cage, if your number comes out,
You're done.
you have not won. So that's what our reverse raffle is all about. When we're down to the last 10 tickets in the ticket cage, those ticket owners will be coming up to the front here, and we will have group participation. They have to all have consensus to decide whether or not they're going to split the pot or go all in for the cash prize. So attendees, you're going to want to stick around, and if your name is still in the pot, you want your green apple out facing the crowd.
Everyone should be green right now.
Everybody should be green. And when your number comes out, boom, 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 you switch to the red. But at that point, you join with your friends and neighbors and cheer for them. Okay? So, the green apple, you're still in. The red apple, sorry, you're out for the night.
But we have other ways you can give tonight too. And not everyone in the crowd is involved in the reverse raffle. Everyone should make their way up to take a look at these fire pits. We have a silent auction going on for those. We have Washington High School, Lincoln High School, and Roosevelt represent. Kelly, give them a wave so they know where to come. Up here, you can sign up for those. Plus, we have a ride for 2 elementary students in a Sioux Falls fire truck.
How fun would that be? A ride to school in a fire truck. So that is a silent auction prize as well, so we hope you'll make your way over. The fire pits were made by our students at the CTE Academy. One is all decked out in Washington emblems, another Lincoln, and another Roosevelt.
Also, you'll see a giving tree at the table there. You can pick items off of that and give that donation. But if it's more than you want to give, you can just contribute any amount you'd like to that Apple project as well.
So lots of ways to get involved here tonight. We hope you will get involved, not only by taste testing the wonderful things from our students in the Culinary Arts program at the CTE Academy, but also by continuing to support our teachers and our students through these various projects around the room. So you got to hear Lincoln High School's drumline first. You're going to hear from other student groups throughout the night, so plenty of entertainment. And also, in addition to that, we're highlighting 3 of our public school proud grant winners from the 2018-19 school year. We want to thank Vision Video for working with us going into the classrooms and filming 3 of our grant winners. These videos really do help us share the story of our teachers in a way that printed promotional material really can't capture. So we're grateful. The guys back there,
Raise your hands, Vision Video people.
put your
Raise your
hands
hands.
up.
Give them a hand.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Ironically, 2 of the 3 that are here tonight
Worked with us.
yeah. Paul Christensen and Jeff Reynolds are former colleagues of ours, and we're happy to continue to have their support. So, without further ado, we're going to take a look at the first grant winner that we're featuring, Nicole Heide at Grew Elementary.
First, we kind of need to learn a little bit about the 3D printer. Anything you can imagine, you can create. I'm really passionate about having technology within my classroom and even outside of my classroom. I do the Girls Who Code program for 3rd grade, but I'm a 1st grade teacher. Which direction does he need to turn, left or right? Through the Girls Who Code program, we do get just a little bit of funding to purchase a little bit of stuff that could be used, coding robots or maybe snacks for kids who can't afford snacks. They do provide a little bit of funding through the actual Girls Who Code organization, but there again, it's not enough to fund all of the things, or it's definitely not enough that I would have been able to get the 3D printer and integrate that into my program. 3D printers are kind of the wave of our future. Instead of all these big factories pressing out certain things, that the 3D design process and 3D printers are actually going to be the things that we're going to be using in the future. So that's why we're going to print a Lego person today. Part of all that is just exploration. So, you know, there's going to be times where we print something and it might not work out, but what I'm teaching my kids on top of the coding is that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay for things not to work out, that what we're doing, whether it's coding, whether it's designing something on the 3D printer, it's all about working your hardest, trying your hardest, and not giving up, that eventually something's going to come out of it. The 3D printer and the abilities to make those things that we need is really fun and helpful. My kids were so excited today. We looked at our germs for the last time and they all just freaked out with what was growing and, oh my gosh, what's in the purple one? So they've really enjoyed the things we've been able to do with our printer. Not just myself, but all teachers really wouldn't be able to do all the stuff that we would like to do without your help. There are so many things that I go, oh, that would be really cool. Oh, I would love to do that. But it's like, okay, I've already spent $200 of my own money buying whatever for the classroom or buying this for my classroom. And so, you know, there's all these great things out there, things that I would love to do, but it comes down to, if the school's not going to purchase it for me, how am I going to purchase it? The printer is to help not just my classroom, not just my Girls Who Code, but the whole school. When our kids get out of school, there are jobs out there that aren't created yet. And we can about guarantee that those jobs are going to be working with technology. If we don't have technology in our kids' hands right now, if we're not teaching them how to use it appropriately, or just to be creative with using their technology, we're not helping our kids succeed for the jobs that they're going to be given when they get out of school. So just without your help, a lot of the stuff that we would like to do, we just can't afford to do it on our own.
All right, we have our next Sioux Falls Corral Entertainment for you. Please help me welcome the Chamber Choir from New Tech High under the direction of Mark Ferry. Let's give them a warm welcome.
Thank you so much. We have 3 short pieces for you tonight. 2 madrigal songs. Would like a microphone?
Oh, that's hot mic. I love mics. Anyway, we have 3 short pieces planned for tonight. 2 Renaissance madrigal pieces and 1 winter song to kind of get you in the Christmas spirit. The first one is Sing Me Enchanted.
Summertime. around their clothes to keep their little heads from falling in the snow. Then I turned round and there you go. Then Michael, you would fall and twinkle like snow, red as strawberries in the summertime.
Again, whoa, hot mic. Thank you so much for having us. We are New Tech High School. Of the Sioux Falls high schools, we are definitely one of the smaller. We have a student body of about 350 students. We are located currently, we share a building with Southeast Tech, and then in 2 years, when the new high school is built, Jefferson will actually share a wing with them. So for our last song, we'd like to do one more magical song, a cappella piece called This Day of Joyful Pleasure.
This day of joyful pleasure, the rose you gave I treasure. This day of joyful pleasure, the rose you gave I treasure. Hear the delightful song that rings so freely, you gave the rose of beauty. Hear the delightful song that rings so freely, you gave the rose of beauty. This day of joyful pleasure, the rose you gave I treasure. This day of joyful pleasure, the rose you gave I treasure. Vero saffron de fiori che mi quaestio cori. From dei fiori che mi quaestio cori. Spiro la crescia mondo con mio cuore, odora di radore. Spiro la crescia mondo con mio cuore, odora di radore. Nero set from dei fiori che mi quaestio cori. From the fiori che mi quaestio cori.
Now we're going to learn about Allie Dunbar's grant that she received. She and John Laughlin. Allie is a teacher at Patrick Henry Middle School, and John Laughlin is a teacher at Memorial Middle School. They were the first two teachers in the state to use electric percussion mallet stations. They received $6,000 from the Public School Proud Grants to purchase these instruments, and we hope that you enjoy this video from Allie and her students.
1 and 2, last line, everyone. My coworker John Laughlin and I, John works at Memorial, and he and I applied for this grant together actually. So he has 2 of these mallet stations at Memorial, I have 2 at Patrick Henry. We also, within that grant, we received all of the sound amplification and Chromebooks to go along with these mallet stations. This technology has helped our students be so much more confident and proud of being a percussionist and being in music at Patrick Henry.
I like the mallet station because it's fun to play and it sounds really nice, and you can switch it to like marimba, timpani, bells, and xylophone.
1, 2. 1, 2. I think that this program or this foundation is essential for our students to have the resources they need in our school. And it's technology like this that makes my kids excited to come to school, and it makes my kids excited to stay in band and to be a part of an extracurricular activity. And I think sometimes in middle school, kids have to make decisions and have to decide what are they most passionate about. And it's things like the mallet station, and it's things like extra funding for grants that make our kids so excited to be a part of our programs.
I like that it's something new. We don't really have anything else like it in our section that's technology based too. It allows us to play a lot of different songs and add a lot of cool features into the songs because you can play more parts with it.
I've been really surprised already in just the short year that we've had this, how many different sounds that the kids have been able to use within pieces, and they've had a lot of fun with it. And I've had fun watching them get more comfortable with the mallet stations and figure out that this can be really fun and just a really good addition to our percussion program here at Patrick.
It excites me because it shows how we can intervene technology and music together, and we just have to use a computer to select what sound we want, and we can select the volume and the tone and everything that's about it. So it's just super fun, looking into it, seeing how much it can do and achieve is just awesome thing to see.
I really like all the different instruments that you can play on it. You can play drum set, or if we don't have another kind of instrument, we can have it play on the mallet station. It's almost like we get to learn a whole new instrument that we wouldn't get to learn if we didn't have the mallet stations.
We hope that we can offer other avenues for technology, not just within percussion, but across our whole band program. And I think it's donors and foundation members within the association that make all of these things possible for our students, and make it so that our students are learning and building all of these skills and using technology and being excited about their instrument. And I think a lot of the things that this foundation is able to provide through these funds really makes music education and education in general a really lasting experience for our kids. Nice.
Well, we're going to roll on. We are going to go to our third video. You saw when you came in the door the virtual reality headsets, and you'll learn more about it if you didn't get a chance to look through the lens of those. Britt Sampson at Washington High School received $5,300 in a grant to purchase 15 VR headsets for her students in German class. So let's take a look at what Britt is doing in the classroom.
I wrote a grant for virtual reality headsets. I've got a lot of kids I know that will never be able to afford to travel outside of the country. And it's just a really neat opportunity with the technology that we have now that's available. What an opportunity to show these kids the world. There's so much they can see, culture, architecture. The possibilities are just really endless.
There's so many different ways that VR can basically get you into an environment without having you to even leave the classroom.
We used VR twice now, and it looked pretty cool. We could look around at different sites in Germany, and we could maybe see the Alps too. And yeah, it is pretty cool to have. In German class, we've been learning a lot about culture and sites too, and now we can actually see them. You actually in the situation, you can actually look around. If you look left, you're going to look left like you were looking left in real life.
It's just such a neat opportunity to be able to bring that into the classroom. It's like you don't have walls anymore. Suddenly the kids, it's such a chance, I think, when I can direct it with an iPad and show them what I want them to, or I can free them up to explore on their own a little bit and then tell me in the language what they saw, what they found. They can do comparisons to our country versus what they saw there and discover that on their own versus me telling them. I think it means so much more when the kids are able to do that on their own.
Anything that induces higher levels of engagement, that's something, even as an educator myself, I have always wanted to get kids more engaged in the classroom just because they're going to be more into the lesson. And when I can do that, I know that it's a successful lesson.
They want to come in here, they want to check it out, they want to see what's going on. I've heard kids say, "You have VR, I'm taking your class." And so that's really exciting. And I can share them with other classes too. But what this does for kids, I would never have had the ability to order these before. There was the chance of, okay, I could get the Google Cardboard, the $10 ones, maybe I could buy a set of those for the classroom. But I don't have kids who can afford unlimited data or have their own smartphone to put in the Google Cardboard. So because the foundation's here, we can give these kids this amazing experience. And I am so grateful for the donors. I am so grateful for the foundation and all the work that they do to give our kids this opportunity.
When we get grants like the one that Britt Sampson got, it's one of those things to where $5,300 goes a long way. You know, it gets 15 devices in the hands of students, and it's one of those things to where they can give that immersive experience, that full engagement of what you normally wouldn't be able to get into. So it's one of those things where it's a complete game changer, and a little bit goes a long way in the hands of students and staff.
I had a student years ago who, when we had watched a video, and I had asked them to do some reflecting at the end of the week, and the one student said, I like it when the lights are off because we're all the same. So those kids that won't have that opportunity, that's a fantastic chance for them.
Deanne, I think we're ready for the final entertainment.
Yes.
All right, here are the guys from Washington High School African Dance Group. They are here with a couple of their teachers. Where are you at, teachers? Michelle Blair and Carrie Wagner. Woo! They are ELL teachers for the Sioux School District out of Washington High School. And they work with these students who are going to knock your socks off. They are amazing. They clearly do their cardio because look how fit all of them are. You just ask where do you practice, when do you practice? At school, at home, wherever. So guys, take it away. You got one more? Is that right? One more number. Little music switch going on here. So give the guys a chance to maybe catch their breath. There's a lot of action going on there, and I'm guessing it's a little harder to do on carpet than it would be on like a basketball court or something like that. Yeah. A little more resistance with those tennis shoes. I can't imagine you guys had anything better to do on a Thursday night than be here. So thank you very much for giving up whatever you were doing. These students you're seeing here are juniors and seniors, and in just a second we're going to hear from their teachers and their principal to tell you a little bit more about them. But they provide a lot of excitement and action at events at Washington and obviously throughout the community. I had the pleasure of emceeing something over at Garfield Elementary last year where these students came and showed their stuff there, and that was really a great opportunity for our younger ELL students to see and aspire to be something great by the time they get to high school. So they're very active in the community, performing a variety of different places.
Diesel.
Let's give them a hand. Principal Dan Conrad, can you bring the group up? They rocked the house. Principal Conrad, you have some introductions to make.
I do, I believe. So with our guys that are part of it, I think the one that started it was an Ali. Did you start it, right? Yeah. So I'm part of Washington High School, 2 goals, graduating 4 years, and then get involved. And that started long before I was there. But the big piece is we have over 80 clubs and activities. And this is one of them, and it's kind of how it starts. Whether it's a teacher or a student, we say, give us an idea. And the 2 ladies to my left were kind enough when Ali had the idea, and he came to the teachers and they said, sure, we'll stay after school, we'll let you practice, we'll let you get this thing developed. And that's kind of how it started off. But the teachers are Carrie Wagner, teaches English language development at Washington, and Miss Michelle Blair, 2 of our teachers. So the big piece is the credit goes to our staff for allowing the opportunity and providing that opportunity to kids, and the initiative of Ali and Amani. Are you part of that? See, Amani always smiles at me. He's always smiling. So part of the deal is these guys are starting to grow in popularity. We have these things called orange zones around Washington, and the orange zone is you can't stand there and hold up traffic. So in front of our grand staircase, you got to keep the traffic moving. These guys have become so popular, they kind of hang around the backside, and there's individuals that want to talk to them. They might be the ladies, right? Yeah, I knew it. Always. And Mrs. Knoll, right? That's right. But I'm going to kick it over to Michelle and Carrie because they truly take the time out of their day. They teach all day. They stay afterwards for another hour or 2 to provide the kids an opportunity to dance and be involved in something. So thank you, ladies, and I'll kick it over to Carrie first.
All right, well, I just want to say these guys have so much passion. It's fun to see them in class, but then after class to see them have so much passion for what they do and to see the smiles on their face, it brings you to tears because it's so fun to see them dance, to see them really shine, bringing forth their culture in America too, and sharing it with all of you and with our student body. So it's been really fun to see them shine. So.
Dan, I'm great at teaching, but if you ask me to get up and speak in front of a crowd, I feel sick to my stomach. I'm not good at doing this. So what Dan kind of talked about, Ali actually came to me first. We were in class, announcements about all the clubs at Washington, and then, like he said, they're encouraged to start a club if they want to start a club. And they have a form they need to fill out, and then they have to come ask us as teachers to be a sponsor for them. And Ali said, why can't we have a dance group? I said, why can't we? So we sat down together and filled out the form and submitted it to Nate Malchow for approval, and it was approved, and we started practicing an hour a day, 1 day a week. And it was really fun because everyone can hear the music up and down the hallway, and you know it's catchy, and people started stopping by and kind of peeking in to see what was going on in the room, and they just kind of developed a following. And it's been like Carrie said, it's just so great that these kids have a connection to Washington and that their culture is celebrated, and everybody is just brought together. They've just made it such a fantastic place to be. So it's just been a joy working with them.
This defines public school proud. Let's give them another hand as they thank you.